and an activist. I'm a mechanic. I'm pragmatic and a weather-watching fanatic. I'm a caretaker, a hayraker, and a no BS taker. I'm a slow walker, a slower talker, and a 10-point buck stalker. I'm a provider. I'm a decider, and an ATV rider. I'm a miller, a tiller, and a grain bin filler. I'm no charmer. I'm a farmer. But the most important handle I ever had is Dad.
You're a parent first, farmer second. Do all you can to make your farm safe for children. Visit cultivatesafety.org for help protecting the most important thing you will ever raise.
I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine today. Thunderstorm in a couple of spots. Humid with a high of 87 to 91. Partly cloudy tonight, low 69 to 73. Then mostly sunny and less humid on Friday with a high of 85 to 89. Mostly sunny and pleasant Saturday, low humidity, high 85 to 88. Then mostly sunny Sunday, high 89 to 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
I'm Matt Gaetz, and I approve this message. The radical left are coming for you, and they know I'm in the way. Come stand with me as we fight back together against this radical president and his far-left agenda. This Friday, May 7th, I'm hosting a special America First rally with my friend Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Doors open at 5 p.m. at the Brownwood Hotel in the Villages. We want you there with us. Go to mattgaetz.com/rally for more details. Paid for by friends of Matt Gaetz.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Thursday. Usually we have veterans news from Vets Helping Vets. We do, but it's a rewind, so enjoy a past veterans news with Vets Helping Vets.
And we have Veterans News right here on WOCA every Thursday at 9:05 or thereabouts. And we appreciate Vets Helping Vets hosting this for us here from their headquarters right here in Marion County. Vets Helping Vets USA help the veterans in need in every shape, way, or form. They connect the dots with approximately 14 agencies under one roof. And the executive director, Hank, is with us. Good morning, Hank.
I am here. You're surprised, aren't you?
and relieved, yes.
Like when I show up at these meetings, everybody's surprised I'm still alive.
Well, yeah. Like I said, I'm happy, and every morning after I get up, I'm relieved. Yes. Okay. And Gary's there to keep you straight too, I hope.
We got Colonel Ham here. Who heads up the Veterans Council and a few other things. Retired United States Army colonel.
Outstanding.
So, he's got some issues he wants to talk about, some fundraising things. But we got casualties this morning.
Damn it, yeah.
Here we go again. But anyway, we do have them. So Gary's going to go ahead and read them off. And I've got one local lady that I need to talk about for a moment.
Okay.
Starting with the firefighters, we have firefighter Jared Lloyd of the Spring Valley Fire Department in Spring Valley, New York. His end of watch was March the 24th. And we have Chief Chester Riley, who was with the Nuclear Natria Fire Protection District in Nuclear, Colorado. His end of watch was March the 20th. And for the law enforcement, we have Sergeant Shane Owens of the Broward County Sheriff's Office. His end of watch was March 27th. Sergeant Owens was a victim of COVID-19. And another firefighter, we have Captain Charles Chuck Wesley Miller Jr. of the Albright Volunteer Fire Department in Albright, West Virginia. His end of watch was April the 4th. We have Corrections Officer Luis Ortero Hernandez Sr. of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. His end of watch was March 31st, and he was a victim of COVID-19. We have Senior Trooper Todd A. Hannikin of the Illinois State Police. His end of watch was March 25th. He was struck and killed by a vehicle while on duty. We have Reserve Deputy Sheriff James Driver of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office in Indiana. His end of watch was March 29th. He was also killed while responding to a car crash. And we have Officer William Evans of the United States Capitol Police Department. His end of watch was April the 2nd, and he was killed during that attempted breach of the Capitol building. We have Trooper Chad Walker of the Texas Department of Public Safety, Texas Highway Patrol. His end of watch was March the 31st, and he was unfortunately a victim of a shooting. We have Lieutenant James Kuski of the Hometown Police Department in Hometown, Illinois. His end of watch was April 3rd, and he was struck and killed by a vehicle while investigating a DUI. And we have Deputy Sheriff Christopher Wilson Knight of the Bibb County Sheriff's Office in Georgia. His end of watch was Tuesday, April 6th, and he was stabbed to death by a prisoner that he was taken into custody.
Let me just remind everybody, all those folks were killed in the line of duty. That happens, unfortunately, every week. And I'll tell you that the shootings and killings of particularly police officers is up dramatically over from what it was a year ago. And I'll be talking about that at some of our future shows. But you need to keep that in mind, that these men and women are out here every day doing their job, protecting us and putting themselves in harm's way like the military does. And unfortunately, many of them pay the ultimate price for that. So keep that in mind, folks, when we're going about our business. And when you get a chance to thank them, give them a little thank you. They'd appreciate it. We do have a couple of local people I want to mention. Everybody, I thought, and should know that about that tragic accident on Highway 27. Jack Borelli and his wife were killed in that really horrific accident. Jack was a U.S. Army veteran, Korea, and used to come in here frequently and talk boxing and a few other things, and was very supportive of the veterans here in Marion County. So we're sorry to see that happen, both for the family and, of course, Jack and his wife. And then Betty Hall, and most of us knew Betty Hall for many. Did you know Betty, Carl? Yeah, Betty was past commander of the American Legion in Bellevue, also past commander of the local Waves unit in '99. Betty was 95 years old. She had a good run. She was, I think she joined the Navy either during World War II or right after World War II, and was one of the big supporters of Vets Helping Vets in the early years. So I was sorry to see that Betty passed, but she had a good life, and she was interned in the cemetery in Bushnell. And that's all we have. And if you would play Amazing Grace and Taps, Joe, we'd appreciate it, buddy.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now
And we're back with Veterans News with the Executive Director, Hank Whittier. Hank, are you there?
I'm here. What are you breathing so hard for this morning?
Yeah, I'm a big guy.
Oh, all right. You sound like you're laboring there a little bit, my friend.
Well,
yeah.
what do you want?
Work.
It's a lot
Yeah,
to
the
move
Colonel-
around, yes.
Colonel said working for a change.
I can feel the love somewhere.
Somewhere out here. Hey, listen, we're glad to be here. You know, we're still over here trying to help as many veterans as we can. Come on in if you need help. I had a veteran come in yesterday, didn't have a clue of what he was entitled to, and the needs that he had, we were able to help him out with. All he had to do was somehow he found us, and I think he left feeling a lot better about himself and about veterans, helping veterans than he ever imagined he could. So we were glad to help him out. But again, I'm running into that all the time, that people just are not aware that we are here to help them. And even if we can't, we can find somebody in this community that is willing to step up and help you out. So come on over, give us a call, and we'll talk about it. Gary will give you some information a little bit. In the meantime, listen, we got Colonel Ham here. The Colonel is, how many years did you serve, Colonel?
26.
26 years, retired out, a full bird colonel. Appreciate his service. But he's got a couple of projects that he's working on. He's very involved in the community, and I'm going to turn it over to him.
Hank, before you turn it over to him, I would like to acknowledge the people that make this possible, if you don't mind. Beside WOCA airing this, we also have to thank Bob Wine's Community Gardens and Nursery, because Veterans News is brought to you by Bob Wine's and also by Hires Baxley. So we'll be right back right after this.
Dad's service to our country is something we're so proud of. He made a difference and set a great example. Now it's our turn to honor the sacrifices he made for our family and this country. As veteran specialists, Hires Baxley Funeral Service helps us celebrate Dad's life and can help you too. Hires Baxley is here for you during your time of need or when planning for the future. For more information, call 352-484-0891 or visit hiresbaxley.com/choice.
Hey folks, the spring color is bursting out all over at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, and you gotta come see for yourself. Coleus, one of Ocala's all-time favorites, are front and center, and they're doorbuster #1. Regularly $4.99, they're just $1.99. And how about those Indian hawthorn? They're marked down from $8.99 to just $2.99. It's bottle brush time. Bob has a great selection, starting at just $24.99. And while you're there, be sure to mix and match a big flat of spring annuals, just $1.99 each, or get a flat of 18 for only $19.99. Look to Bob Wines for gorgeous hanging baskets. Buy one and get a second one for half price. And there's a BOGO on many perennials. Come buy one and get one free. Check us out, then head to Bob Wines on Southeast 38th Street, daily till 4:30, Saturdays till 3:30, in the same blooming place for going on 70 years.
And we're back with more Veterans News with Hank Whittier and Gary. And it's back to you, gentlemen.
We're going to turn it over to Craig Ham, and he's going to talk about a couple of things and some needs that the veteran community has, and I'll turn it over to him. You got it, Colonel.
Hey, thank you. Once again, about once a month, Hank is kind enough to let me come in here and
it's a moment of weakness
and talk to you. In my role as president of the Veterans Council, one of the tasks that I have that I don't really like is to help remember some of our past leaders. And I want to mention on April 17th at 10 a.m. at the Veterans Park, we're going to have a memorial service for a past president of the council, Chief Wilbur Julius, U.S. Navy retired. And Wilbur passed away about a month and a half ago and has some family in town, and we're going to be able to do this service. And people who knew Wilbur, and I know he was very active in the community in a number of capacities. If they want to come out, again, that's on April 17th at 10 a.m. Also, the Veterans Council, as we mentioned last month, is purchased a bus to make available to our different veterans groups. We have 52 veterans organizations in the county, and as you know, we have over 40,000 veterans that choose to live in Marion County. And many of them are active in those organizations and have transportation needs from time to time. So we're just about paid off on the bus. I think we owe about $1,300 yet on it and have to get it registered, and we're waiting on paperwork from the state as our nonprofit status to do that. But if anybody's interested in helping support that bus effort for the Veterans Council, they can call me locally at 843-2357, and I'd be glad to talk to them about that. I'm also vice president of the Kingdom of the Sun chapter of the Military Officers Association. As you may know, for the last 20 years, MOAA chapter has run Stuff the Bus in Marion County. And this is a philanthropic effort to provide backpacks filled with school supplies for needy kids throughout the county. We have just completed distributing those for the 2021 school year. We started on July 27th and have delivered 1,061 backpacks filled with supplies to 35 elementary schools and charter schools at Marion County, and lots of smiling faces as these kids come back into a brick and mortar environment from having been out on Zoom lessons, especially the needy kids, the homeless kids who need to get off to a quick start, and they just give them the backpack and they have everything they need to be successful for the new school year. And of course, this is now a year-round activity for us, and we're done distributing for the 2021 year, but it's time to reload, and this summer we'll be delivering backpacks to the schools so they're ready when school starts early in the fall. So we'll be sending out a flyer looking for sponsorships from businesses in Marion County. If anybody wants to jump up to be the signature sponsor, they can sure give me a call. But typically we give out from $40,000 to $50,000 worth of supplies and backpacks. And this year, despite all the limitations, our donors were very generous, and we had 1,061 backpacks is a new high water mark for the Stuff the Bus program. So once again, 20 years, Stuff the Bus, veterans, and we like to say, helping vets help kids.
You know, I've noticed, because you see the kids on the bus stops coming to work and going home, what a vital item the backpack is to these children. They virtually all got them. In our day, it was the books. If it was going to rain, you put a garbage bag over them and had to lug them under your arm. But the kids have to take a lot of other things to school nowadays. I guess maybe tablets or computers or whatever. So, so important, to have that one piece of equipment there.
Well, absolutely. And when we were in school, we used to have lockers. And, between classes, you heard all those locker doors slamming. But for security reasons, there are no longer lockers in use in the school system. So the kids have to bring their materials. And a lot of those books are heavy.
Yeah, I can see them slumped over in the morning sometimes, and they're chugging to that bus stop.
They look like they're an Army or Marine unit on a forced march.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, at least you don't have to carry the base plate for the mortar.
That's
Thank God for small.
That's what you don't want.
No. Well, it's good training, and again, that's something that they need and something that you guys really have been providing for. And I know I stepped out of the room for a minute, but the fundraiser for the bus is going how? How's the fundraiser going?
Well, we've got about $1,300 yet that we owe on the loan for the bus. Okay. And then we'll get to register it. Now, with the the IRS needs to send us our determination letter that they issued about 15 years ago, and nobody can find. And once we get that to the state of Florida, then we get tax exempt status, so that when we go to register the bus, it saves us about $400. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, we're in a holding pattern on that. I need to mention Julie Rockland at Store Right Self Storage over there on 200 across from Hobby Lobby has donated space for us to park the bus there in a secure environment.
That's great.
And we're most appreciative of that as well.
Yeah. And how is it? Is someone gonna need a CDL license and whatnot to drive that, or?
Well, we have a few CDL drivers already. My son-in-law helped bring it down from Gainesville when we delivered it. Bruce Gonsa has a CDL, and we're going to try to get some people trained up and certified to drive a bus with passengers on board. You need at least the Class B CDL, but you also need the P endorsement, the passenger endorsement, to drive the bus, and that's a different driving test, I'm told, that they have to take. So, but there are people out there already who have been substitute drivers for the school system, veterans who still have that licensure. So we're not worried about that part of it.
When do you think they'll be up and running? Do you have a ballpark target date, or?
Well,
I know you're not. Obviously you're not in control of IRS. No one else is either. But
yeah. Well, we'd like to have it by Memorial Day, because there's an event at the World Equestrian Center, and they have said that we can bring the bus out there on that day and have it on display and set up for the bus donation.
Oh, very good.
So we're hoping to get
by Memorial Day.
Yeah, get wheels up and go.
That's another guy. We talked about him earlier, Mr. Roberts, and how supportive he has been to veterans. He is the owner of Golden Ocala and, of course, the Equestrian Center. He's a very low-key guy, but very helpful to the veterans.
Well, a great community supporter
of a lot of things. People don't.
A lot of things.
People just don't know about. He never takes a bow, but very, very generous individual. So, but there's a lot of people in this community exactly like that.
Well, there are. Typically our Stuff the Bus donors are individuals who live in the retirement community and send us a check every year, and $50, $100, and it adds up.
Yeah, and we're in the same. Matter of fact, today we were waiting for the Spruce Creek Preserve people to come in with a check. Very, very supportive. They, again, don't look for recognition. Don't ask for anything in return.
Right.
Just happy to help veterans out. And there's so many. I continually tell people that Marion County is unusual. At least the places I lived in, the support we have for veterans, and quite frankly, a lot of charities, children's charities, and seniors, and the rest of it. Marion County's pretty darn supportive. That some communities just aren't. So.
Well, Patricia Pratt and the Summer Glen Veterans Group were supporters of purchasing the bus, and about 10 of them wrote checks for us. And we appreciate that.
Wait till you see the size of the check Gary's going to give you.
Oh, yeah?
And Joe Martone, too. I think Joe Martone, as we speak, is probably writing you a check.
Gary's already taking care of me. Joe, I haven't heard from yet, but I'm sure I will after today.
I'm sure that you will. I'm sure that I will, too.
Oh, you're definitely going to hear from me, that's for sure.
Gary, if you donate enough, Joe, we'll let you drive it, maybe.
We might feature you on the show, Joe, if you kick in some big bucks,
Sick individuals never change.
Hey, Joe. Go ahead, Gary. Tell them who we are and where we are and how to get help over here.
Yeah, we are Veterans Helping Veterans, USA Incorporated, and we're at 2730 East Silver Springs Boulevard in beautiful Ocala, and we're here to serve you Monday through Friday. Our hours Monday through Thursday are 8 to 4, and our hours on Friday are 8 to 1. We have food, and our food days normally are Tuesdays and Thursdays our social service days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you need help with your electric, if you need help with your rent, if you need help with a mortgage, or if you need really good food, we not only have a great food pantry, we also have a TFAB pantry. So, come on and see us. If we can help you, we'll be more than happy to do so, because we truly are here to serve the veterans of Marion County.
Sam? Carl?
Yeah, the next meeting of the Veterans Council is on April 15th. That's a Thursday at 10:30. And we're meeting in April at the Green Clover Hall. That's in the McPherson Center, kind of back there between the museum and
underneath the trees.
Tax collector, underneath the trees, yeah. And again, any VFW post, American Legion post, Veterans Group that is not currently sending a representative, by all means, get involved, send a rep, and we'd be glad to.
All right, folks. Hey, listen, that's our sign-off music. So I want to tell you, as I tell you every week, and mean it every week, and I want more people to think about it and say it. God bless America, and thank you for your service, folks.
Broadcasting from
That was Veterans News, a rewind of Veterans News that played back on, I believe it was April 8th of this year. So thanks to the good folks at Vets Helping Vets for all they do. Unable to be here today, but always here for the veterans. Go check them out there on East Silver Springs Boulevard. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, I'm going to tell you about what Governor DeSantis has done for the first responders, and it's something that we should all be okay with. The first responders are very important. Your EMTs, your paramedics, your nurses, your doctors, your police, your fire. Very important, especially during this pandemic time. You've seen the importance and how just necessary and front line that they really are. And Governor DeSantis has done something to repay them. So we'll talk about that next. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.